order to create a GL master data, so what prerequisites must be in place? So that, guys, Chandrababu, can you please disable your video? Alright. So in order to create GL master data, okay, so the prerequisites to be in place is retain earnings account. I would say the chart of accounts, accounts groups, retain earnings accounts, and field status variant. Okay, so in options of any configuration of 4 configurations, it's not possible to create GL master data. Okay, so GL master data basically it contains chart of account segment data. Okay, and as well company code segment data. So try to understand, this is an interview perspective, very important. Okay, so not only interview perspective, so even in live also we used to get a number of issues from the GL master data, maybe GL accounts extension. Sometimes we used to get some fields to be disabled, sometimes field status variant to be changed. Like that we used to get in the real-time issues. Okay, GL master data. So it contains 2 segments. One is, I'll say that chart of account segment data, and another one is company code segment data. Okay, chart of accounts segment data, and another one is company code segment data. Okay, so chart of account, the data which is maintained, data is maintained at COA or CAS, chart of account segment, is applicable for all company codes. CCN nothing but company codes. Okay, so for all company codes where they use same GL accounts. GL accounts. Okay, whereas the data which is maintained, the data is maintained at company code segment data, company code segment data is applicable to the specific company code. Specific company code. Okay, so it is very company code to company code, company code to company code. So chart of account segment data is required. Chart of accounts segment data okay is mandatory or required to be maintained for all chart of accounts. For all chart of accounts. Okay, so mean to say that it is required to be maintained for group chart of accounts, group, country, and primary chart of accounts. Primary primary chart of accounts. Okay. So to be able to create or extend GL account against company code, the prerequisite GL must be maintained at chart of account segment data. Chart of accounts segment data. Okay. So this is important. Okay. So to be able to create or extend the GL account against the company code, the prerequisite is GL must be maintained at chart of account segment data. Okay. Not possible to post the data against GL account if GL is not extended to company code segment data. Okay. So this is also meaning to say that the GL must be maintained chart of account segment data as well company code segment data. Okay. Company code segment data is not required. So here what we understand, chart of account segment data is required to maintain for all chart of accounts. It is required to maintain for group chart of accounts, country specific chart of accounts and primary chart of accounts. Okay. Whereas here if you talk about company code segment data, okay, company code segment data, also here we'll also understand here at chart of account segment data, chart of accounts segment data, we link group account number or GL account against primary GL account Okay. So this we will see during the creation of GL accounts. Okay. So whereas if you talk about company code segment data, okay, do we require to extend company code segment data for all chart of accounts? Do we require to extend or maintain company code segment data for all chart of accounts? This you will get interview question. Okay. Do we need to maintain company code segment data for all chart of accounts? If you say that yes, then your interview will discontinue there itself. Okay. No. Answer is no. Okay. So company code segment data is not required to be maintained for group and country specific chart of accounts. Country specific segment data is required. Segment data is required only to primary GL accounts or primary chart of accounts or primary GL accounts. Primary chart of accounts or GL accounts. Okay. So, and one more point here we need to understand alternative account. Okay, we will link or assign against primary GL account in control data of company code segment data. Okay, so what is alternative account? Alternative account nothing but alternative account is called here country specific GL account. Country specific GL account. Okay, so this is what we see at the GL master data. Okay, so people will ask you when you go to the interview, okay, what is the GL master data? Okay, so sometimes if you keep if you go to keeping 2 to 3 years experience, they'll ask you the inside tabs also. Okay, how many tabs we have in the GL master data? What are the key fields? Okay, how it works? Okay, we should be good to explain about the GL master data. Okay, so as I said earlier, 2019 before, if the people are good in GL master data, okay, companies used to hire. But now those days were gone. We should be good in across all the components, meaning to say that not only GL master data, we have to be good in accounts payables, receivables, assets, and other cross modules. Okay, let it be. That is not point to discuss here. So GL master data, if we summarize, GL master data, it contains chart of account segment data and company code segment data. Okay, remember chart of account segment data is required to be maintained for all chart of accounts. Okay, we have discussed there are 3 types of the chart of accounts: primary chart of accounts, country specific chart of accounts, and group chart of accounts. Right, so chart of account segment data is mandatory. Okay, so whereas country code, so whatever the data that we maintain at chart of account segment data, that is a generic information. In the last class we have seen what information we see there: account group and GL accounts which belongs to P&L account or balance sheet, and short text and log text of the GL account and trading partner. And if your chart of accounts is having, let's say, group chart of accounts, there also it is visible to you group account number. So that is the generic information. Okay, so that is applicable for all company codes where that company codes use the same GL account number. Okay, so whereas company code segment data, we see the data which is maintained at company code segment data, okay, is specific to that company code. Maybe one company code use one reconciliation account, another company code they may use another reconciliation account. What is the reconciliation account? We will see. And also, so in the company code segment data, the currency, okay, so it depends on the company code currency. Okay, the currency which is maintained during the creation of the company code, so by default it proposes that currency. Meaning to say that, let's say if the company code belongs to India, so the currency is displaced by default it proposes the INR. If the company code belongs to China, then it displays the CNY currency. Mean to say that the data, whatever the data that we are going to maintain at a company code segment data is applicable only to that company code. And here we need to understand company code segment data is not required to maintain for country specific chart of accounts, not required for group chart of accounts. Why it is so? Because the day-to-day transactions are being recorded or going to be reported against primary GL accounts. As we know that during the creation of the chart of accounts, we have understand that how the data it will flow to the chart of country specific chart of accounts and group chart of accounts. The data it will flow from the primary chart of accounts to the country and as well group chart of accounts. Okay, so hence the transactions are not going to record or report or book against group chart of accounts and country specific chart of accounts, not required to extend the company code segment data both like country and group chart of accounts. Then where is the link between the primary chart of accounts, between the group and country specific chart of accounts? Okay, at chart of accounts segment data, where we will link group account number to the primary GL accounts. In control data, company code segment data, where we will assign alternative account number is called as a country specific GL accounts. Okay, where we will link between the primary GL accounts and country specific chart of accounts. That is the link. Okay, so that's about all GL master data. So explanation. What we have to do now? Okay, so first we have to create chart of account segment data for group chart of accounts, for as well country specific chart of accounts and primary GL accounts. Then we will extend the GL accounts to the company code. Okay, so let's say if I want to create. So the next what we are going to do, create GL accounts. Any questions still here? No. Okay, so please read twice and thrice the notes which we are sharing over the Excel. Okay, so every day whatever we are going to discuss, it is interrelated. Okay. Create GL accounts. Let's say we will take only few GL accounts. It will depend on the requirement. We'll come and create the GL accounts. Okay. So it doesn't make any sense if I create all GL accounts without understanding any requirement. What I'll do, I'll create few GL accounts. Okay. Now, and upon the requirement during the front end or where we are going to test, we will come and create the GL accounts. Okay. Create GL accounts for group, country and primary chart of accounts in chart of account segment data. Accounts segment data. Okay, so first we will create some material consumption GL account. Okay, raw material consumption GL accounts. Okay, how to create? Let's say first we have to create group account number, group chart of accounts. So this we need to create for all chart of accounts. Okay, so material consumption is the P&L account, that is expenditure. Okay, so first we have to create for group, then group account number, I would say that group chart of accounts, then country chart of accounts, then primary chart of accounts. Under the primary chart of accounts we will define. Okay, so we have the transaction codes. Okay, let us understand the path. Okay, where do we create the chart of account segment data for this consumption GL account? Okay, so we can create a GL master data So we can access GL master data from the SAP menu. This is the menu front end screen, and we can also access through the SPRO. Normally we are doing the configuration, right? So note down the path. So both side note down the path. Okay. SPRO, hit on the MG. Financial accounting. Financial accounting. General ledger accounting. Master data. GL accounts. GL accounts creation processing. GL account creation and processing. Edit GL account individual processing. Here we see edit company code data, edit chart of accounts data, edit GL account centrally. Okay, there are the three transaction codes we have. FSP0, FS00, this is centrally where we can see the company code segment data, chart of account segment data. FSP0, that is for chart of account segment data. FSS0, where we can create company code segment data. These are the three transaction codes. So FSS0 or FSP0. Okay. Is used to maintain chart of accounts segment data for GL accounts. Okay. So there is another transaction code FSS0. This is used to maintain important transaction codes. To maintain company code segment data. Company code segment data for GL accounts. Okay. Whereas there is another transaction code FS00. FS00. This is the combination of FSP0 and FSS0. Okay. Centrally, mean to say that. So here FSP0 and FSS0. Okay. So the combination of FSS0 and FSP0 is called FS00. Okay. So here possible to maintain chart of account segment data, and company code segment data. Means that it is a centrally where you can see the chart of account segment data and where you can see the company code segment data. Okay, this is the one way. Okay, to access to GL master data. Okay, whenever you want to create the GL master data, you must have to access these three transaction codes. Okay, so FSS0, most of the cases we use to create the GL accounts. Okay, because where we could see both chart of account segment data and company code segment data. Okay, FS00. This is centrally. Okay, so another way to access GL master data, this is through SPRO. Okay, so another way to access, the other way to access GL master data is SAP menu. Same transaction codes, there is no change. Okay, so let us look into that path as well. So far so good. By this now you understand what is the SPRO, what is the SAP menu. This is the front end screen. Okay, here also we can access GL master data, financial accounting, SAP menu, accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, master records. Here also we can go. Okay, here we can see FS00, FSP0, FSS0. Okay. Alright. So now we have to create GL master data for group chart of accounts. How to create? So now we use either or way. Both screens are, both either if you access from the SAP menu or SPRO, both are the same. Okay. So as we discussed, we have to first create the GL accounts at chart of account segment data. Okay. So execute the FSP0. FSP0. Okay. Maintain chart of account segment data. Segment data for group chart of accounts. Okay. So this is the raw material consumption what we are going to create. Execute. Double hit on that. Okay. Now you will see this screen. So chart of account segment data, it contains description tab, keyword translation. Let's see. Okay. So this is the generic information. That's what we discussed in the last class. Okay. Chart of account segment data, it contains the accounts groups and P&L account. Okay, whether GL account belongs to P&L account or balance sheet. Okay, so if you are having your retained earnings account is more than one for chart of account, then it would display this. Okay, all right. If you select the balance sheet, if the GL account belongs to balance sheet account, so then this PL account statement is gray mode, because this P&L statement account type or the retained earnings account need to be selected only for P&L accounts. Okay, so that also we will see. So chart of account segment data, it contains type and description tab and keyword translation. Here just we will specify the language. Okay, information, who is created and who is edited, if at all GL account any changes you have been done. Okay, so information tab, it contains just who created GL account, who has been done the changes. Okay, that information, it is there in the information tab. Okay, so this is the chart of account segment data master data screen. So to you, so since you are accessing this screen first time, you don't see, because I have other company codes, that is the reason we could see the data. Now how to create the GL account? Okay, here we see create button. Okay, create button, hit on the create. Okay, so try to note down everything. Okay, because you should be good by this, by complete. I mean, by the time we complete the GL master data creation, everyone should be in a position to create GL accounts. Okay, this is the base and fundamental to move to next sub modules. Okay, so hit on the create button. Here, which GL account we are supposed to give? Okay, which chart of accounts we are supposed to give? Group chart of accounts. Okay, so what is the GL account codification we have given for the group accounts? Supposed to be 6-digit chart of accounts. No, for group chart of accounts, okay, which GL account you have to give, mean to say that it depends on the nature of the GL account. What is the nature of the GL account we are going to create? Expenditure, raw material expenditure. Okay, right? So GL codification, it should be in between our accounts groups. Okay, so what is our group chart of accounts? ZG00. Okay, right. So this is the group chart of accounts under which we are going to create expenditure GL account. You can take any number in between 4 to 499. I'll create, okay, I'll give the 400 number. 400, what is the chart of accounts? ZG00. Okay, so under group chart of accounts, we are going to create this raw material consumption GL account. Okay, I'll say that instead of raw material consumption GL account, because when we have discussed about the chart of accounts, we have discussed that one group account number can be assigned for n number of GL accounts. That means for primary GL accounts. I'll say that for all material consumptions related GL accounts, I'll assign this 400 series GL account. Okay. So what you need, what GL account number you are giving based on your accounts groups. Since the GL account is expenditure, I am giving the 400. Okay. So give the 400 and chart of accounts. Okay. So what we did here, hit on the create button and provide the GL account. So based on the nature of the GL account, which GL account number you are supposed to give, that we have to provide here, and chart of accounts. Okay, so hit on the create button. Then you will see this screen. Okay, so give the GL account and hit on continue. So now this blank screen you will see. Now accounts group. Okay, what are the accounts groups? We are now able to see assets, expenditure, income, and liabilities. How these fields are coming? Based on your accounts groups. At this chart of accounts, okay, at the group chart of accounts, we have maintained these accounts groups. For these accounts groups, we have maintained this GL account number range. If I select other than the expenditure, system it will throw the error. Okay, observe that. If I select assets, what it is doing? Accounts groups asset only defined for account group 100 to 199. So you have provided 100 to 199 the number range for assets group, but you have selected 400. Okay, that's what error it is throwing. You should not select assets group because this 400 number range you have given for expenditure group. EXP you need to select. Even if I select the liabilities also, it will throw the same error. If I select income also, it will throw the same error. I have to select this number range for which I have given is expenditure. Okay, I have to select expenditure. Okay, now no error, right? Yeah. That's what you need to understand. Okay, so the moment when you hit on the continue, you will see the blank screen over here. Okay, so we need to fill all information. Okay, so account group according to GL account number range, expenditure. And this expenditure GL account belongs to P&L statement account type. Okay, so select the P&L statement account. Okay, give the description, and here we will understand now. Okay, so our retained earnings account concept we will recall. Okay, what we have discussed, if the chart of accounts is having more than one retained earnings account under the control in chart of accounts, okay, during the creation of the GL account, in chart of accounts segment data, under the control in chart of accounts tab, we could see another field, that is the P&L statement account type. So that we have to select manually if your chart of accounts is having more than one retained earnings account. But however, we define only one retained earnings account. When we have only one retained earnings account, system by default it assigns that retained earnings account for all accounts, and also the field will be in hidden mode. Okay, we are not able to see that P&L statement account type here. Now what I'll do, I'll go to that retained earnings account configuration. I'll maintain one more retained earnings account for group chart of accounts and observe, just to understand that how retained earnings account it works. Okay, as of now what you see here, there is no other field. You could see here account group, P&L statement account, balance sheet. There is no other field, only you see these fields. Okay, what I'll do, I'll go to retained earnings account, I'll maintain another retained earnings account. Okay. Okay, here define retained earnings account. This retained earnings account we have maintained at chart of accounts segmented, chart of accounts. Okay. So now we have only one retained earnings account. Now I'll do export. I'll give 288 as well. Okay, hit on save. Okay, now observe the screen and also observe the, again we will re-access the screen. Go back, don't save anything. Data has been changed to the changes now, and again execute and observe. Okay, I'll say that now you see here, this is a blank screen. Okay, when I have entered ZG00, okay, so you see now another field. Okay, so P&L statement account type. Why? Because we have added another retained earnings account. Now this time, since we have two retained earnings account, under which retained earnings account the GL account which you are going to create is going to be fallen, that you have to select manually. Okay, I hope it is clarified about retained earnings account. That is observation for retained earnings account. Okay, now hit on the create button. This is applicable for all chart of accounts, not only for group and for primary, for country specific chart of accounts also. If you have more than one retained earnings account you define, so this P&L statement account will be displayed. So you need to select manually either X3 or X4. Okay, this we need to select. Alright, hit on the create button and give the 400. Okay, hit on the continue. And the continue. Okay. Select the account group, expenditure, and now we need to select this P&L statement account. Okay, this P&L statement account type is applicable only for P&L statement, P&L GL accounts, not applicable for balance sheet GL accounts. Okay, select X3 and give the material consumption. Material consumption. Material consumption account or material consumption. So trading partner is not applicable. Okay. So fill all these details and hit on the save. Okay, hit on the save. Here you see here the save button. Okay, hit on the save or control yes in your keypad. Hit on the save. And the save. Okay, similarly create one more GL account for salaries. Okay, again hit on the create. Create salaries GL account.
So it is also a group one, right?
Sorry?
It is also a group one, right? Salary.
Yes. Create salary GL account under the group chat of accounts. Hit on the create button. Again you can see here. Give the subsequent number. I will say that 41401. Okay. So this is the next number. 401 and the chart of accounts. And continue. Okay. Select the accounts group, expenditure, P&L statement. If you don't fill this system, it will throw the error. You must have to select P&L statement account type. Let's see that also. Salaries, expenditure. Salaries, expenditure account. If I have not filled, I have not selected. Let's try to save this. What error you will get? Okay, what is the error? Make an entry field P&L statement account type. Okay, the data it contains you cannot save. Okay, you must have to select P&L statement account type. Okay, this is the error if you don't fill that field. What you need to do? Continue and select the P&L statement account type. Okay, X3. So, to address the above error, you need to fill P&L account type. P&L statement account type. Account type. Hit on the save. Here, hit on the save. one more GL account, rental expenditure. Okay, rental expenditure. Create, all we are defining under the group chart of accounts. Okay, we need to also create this GL accounts for primary and country specific chart of accounts. Okay, create rental expenditure. Rental expenditure GL account. Okay, the group chart of accounts. And the create button. So what you will see in your what you call in your FSP0, this is the FSP0 transaction code. Normally what you see the moment when you access this screen, so it displays like this. So normally your screen will appear like this. Okay, navigation you don't see. What are the GL accounts we have created? You will not be able to see. Okay, to see that hierarchy, what we have to do. So you can see here, right? Left side you can see what all GL accounts we have created under the chart of accounts. That you will see. Okay, the hierarchy will be able to see, but in this screen you don't see anything. So what you have to do to see that hierarchy? Okay, so this is the screen you will see when you access FSP0. Okay, so just what you have to do, go to settings to see hierarchy display. Hierarchy display of GL accounts. So go to settings, hierarchy display, hit on that, select display accounts in navigation tree. Okay, and continue. What settings and hierarchy display. Settings and hierarchy display. And on that, and you need to select display accounts in navigation tree. Okay, continue. So then close the FSP0 and re-access that screen. Okay, what it will throw the message? It will throw this message. The new settings will take effect once the transaction is restarted. That means we have to restart this transaction code. And continue. Now you have not able to see still, but what you have to do? You have to go back and we have to restart again transaction code. Now you will see this navigation tree. Right? So these two GL accounts defined under this ZG00 chart of accounts. Right? So that's how you have to see these three navigation tree. What settings we have to do. Alright, now create rental expenditure. So by the time if you are able to create 10 GL accounts, you will understand everything. Okay? Hit on the create button. I'll create 402 now this time. We'll continue. Okay. Select expenditure. P&L accounts type. This is X3 we are selecting. And rental expenditure. Rental expenditure. generic information about the GL account. That's what we are doing here. And it's save. Okay, we have created so far under the expenditure. Now let's create for balance sheet. Okay, so balance sheet GL accounts. Let's define 3 GL accounts. Okay, so we'll create inventory related GL accounts. Okay. Balance sheet GL accounts. GL accounts. Okay, I'll create raw material inventory account. Inventory is balance sheet accounts.
These also group GLs, right?
Correct. Okay, semi-finished goods inventory account and the finished goods inventory accounts. These 3 GL accounts will create under the ZG00 group set of accounts. So what is the balance sheet group accounts? Okay, if you go and check, what is the GL codification we have to provide, we have to give? OBD for our ZG00. Okay, what is the balance sheet? That means for assets, we have to give 100 and 199. This is the GL codification. Okay, so since these are the assets, okay, so assets GL accounts. So normally in the real time, so they further classify these assets. Okay, whatever you see here, they further classify the what is the inventory, what is the banks related GL accounts, what is the closing inventory GL accounts. But what we are doing here, for all assets related, we are grouping under the assets group. Okay. So, but in the real time, they further classify these account groups, okay, according to their business requirement. Hello. Next class lo. All right. Now we'll create, because the GL codification we have to give 100 between 199. Okay. So let's define the balance sheet GL accounts, raw material inventory account. Same process. Hit on the create. Okay. Give the 100. Create raw material account. Create raw material inventory GL account. Name codification as per the business requirement, we will use the name convention for the GL account. Okay. We cannot decide GL accounts names in the real time. Okay, hit on continue. Now, what is the accounts group we need to select here?
Asset.
Asset. Correct. If I select other than asset, it will throw the error. Okay, we have to select appropriate accounts group. Okay, appropriate accounts group here, assets. Okay, so now you see here the moment I select balance sheet, this field is going to be gray mode. You can see. So this is applicable only for P&L statement account. Okay, so that is also you need to understand. P&L statement account type we need to select for only operational GL account. That means P&L, income statement related GL accounts. Okay, here I am giving raw material inventory account. Click on save. Click on this save. Similarly, create one more GL account, the SFG inventory account. Hit on the create. Create SFG semi-finished goods GL account. Inventory account. And the create button. I'll say that this time 101. Okay. And continue. Select the balance sheet GL account. Assets group is balance sheet assets. Here SFG inventory account. And save. And save. Similarly, create FGGL account. All we are creating under the group chart of accounts. Create finished goods GL account, inventory account. And create. Use the 1 or 2. Okay. So how we are giving the GL accounts? It's based on the accounts groups. Okay. Return continue. Select the account group. What is that? Assets. Select the balance sheet account. Here we need to select provide the text. FG inventory account. Okay. Return save. That's it. Like this, we have to create GL accounts for country specific as well primary chart of accounts. That we will continue in the next class. Any complexity is there to understand the application? What we are doing here, we are understanding the application, how it is functioning, what we have to do. Let's say the user comes and asks you, we need to create this. The business comes and asks you, these many list of the GL accounts we have to create under the group chart of accounts and as well primary chart of accounts. Okay. So if you don't know, that it makes you trouble, right? So as a functional consultant, we should be good because users will only post the transactions. They don't know how to extend, how to maintain the GL master data. Okay, this is functionally understand. That is our functional job. Okay, how SAP is working. There is no coding, there is no programming. Only understanding is what we are going to be trying and learn, right? So what is the successful for SAP means? only to understand application. To understand the application, you must have to do the n number of times practice. Okay, there is no, again reiterating, there is no coding, there is no programming. Only your time and your investment to do the practice is your success is going to be defense. All right. So tomorrow we continue the class and we will create GL accounts for country chart of accounts and for primary chart of accounts. Then we will go this whatever we are maintaining a chart of account segment data. Okay. So tomorrow we will see continuation with this class. Okay. Any questions before we are going up?
We have created that retained earnings account under that expenditure GLs, right?
Yes.
So similarly, profit and loss account means both expenses and incomes, right? So we need to create a retained earnings account for incomes as well.
Correct. Right? How do you arrive at the net income or retained earnings? By combining the revenues and expenditure, right?
Yeah.
Incomes and expenditure.
Yes.
That's correct. For incomes GL accounts also, we need to select retained earnings account.
The same retained earnings account.
Correct.
Whatever that we created X3.
Correct. Any other questions? I hope you are